Title: Art Beyond Sight, Bringing Art and Culture to All. Opening the Digital Doorway. Leveraging Technology to Build Inclusive Museum Experiences. The Morgan Library, October 22, 2014. Gale Delaney, Orientation and Mobility Specialist, the New York Institute. Techniques for Navigating and Guiding a Person.
The first thing is that navigating unfamiliar space, as you can imagine, for someone who's blind, is very, very challenging. And you want to be really comfortable in your role, and you want your clients, your patrons, your visitors to be just as comfortable as they can be. So I'm going to give you a few little simple pointers, some do's and don'ts, my favorite part of most magazines. And they helped me a lot when I first started. So if you would be so kind as to help me out. Would you mind helping me, like we talked about? Ibrahim.
Yeah.
So, please, when you're speaking to someone who's blind, use their name, especially. Sorry. So, because.
Sorry, I didn't know if you wanted to start the presentation. I thought we agreed on that.
I took it by surprise. So, the first thing is obviously you're going to be working in groups, probably. And even if you're not working in a group, even if you're just one-on-one, remember, we're sighted, so we'll go like this. Yeah. Okay? We make eye contact. We make gestures. That's how we communicate. But in order to communicate with Ibrahim, I have to say his name, or he just has no idea. So, Ibrahim,
Yeah.
would you like some assistance?
Sure.
We know each other. So you're going to ask the visually impaired person if they want assistance. Sometimes they're not going to need assistance. They may have just enough vision, and they may just want to do it on their own. They may not want you to get too involved. They want some privacy. But if they say yes, then you're going to extend your arm, and you're going to say, I'm going to give you my hand. So you're going to stand right in front of them, and you're going to touch the back of your hand to the back of their hand. Now I'll tell you why. Ibrahim, are you ready? Ibrahim! He doesn't know. Yeah. Would you like some assistance?
Okay.
So you don't want to be pushing a blind person in front of you. Because, I'm sorry, there's a lot of stuff between us and the door, and you want to get in there safely. So this is how it works. This is, they call human guide or sighted guide. So would you like some assistance, Ibrahim?
Yes, please.
And so I say, I'm going to guide you. Now, I'm going to give the back of my hand, and the reason is, there's not a lot of nerve endings. It's not a startling place to get touched. So it also lets Ibrahim know, where's my arm? All right? So we'll do that one more time, but this time I'm not going to stay there. I'll say, would you like some assistance?
Yes, please.
And I'll go, okay, come along. Where's my hand? All right? So very simply, stay there. Let him or her find your elbow and move into a position where you are a half step in front of them, keeping them pretty close behind you. Now, most teenagers and adults who are visually impaired or blind know how to do this already. So they're automatically going to run their hand up and find your elbow and come in behind you. But you probably work with a lot of little kids, right? So take their hands. They're going to be going, I'm going to be the little kid. They're going to be like this, okay? So you just do the best you can. Hold their hand, but just watch where their heads are going and keep them from bumping, that's all. But they have to be kids, and they have to touch things. So just try to keep that you're in front, they're behind mentality, okay? So, here we go, let's get in position again. So now you're ready to move. and talk and walk through the museum, here's something that you're not going to think you do it, but you're going to do it. You're going to start talking really loud. Right? Am I right, guys who are visually impaired? She's laughing. So I never thought I did it. And then, the first year of teaching, and I'm shouting, and I just never thought I did it, but I do it. When I go into a store with one of my students, and the guy behind the counter is shouting, it's just sort of a natural inclination because we really don't know what to do. We're not used to it. So you've got to get used to it. So speak in a normal tone of voice. Now we're ready to walk again. All right? So we're going to walk, take a sharp turn, and we're just going to walk normally like a team. So I can talk, but here's the thing. Be careful. All right? Be careful. We're going to do about face. Be careful what is on the person's side. Statues, door frames, people. All right? So when you say, let's say you've got a small space to go through in front of you, you're going to say, I see a big group of people in front of me. Don't be afraid to say, I see a group of people, or, I can see that. Oh, I'm so sorry. You don't have to be that way. Because there's no word for sight. I see this, and blind and visually impaired people actually use it. They'll say, oh, I saw that. So just feel comfortable. So, Ibrahim, I see a group of people in front, so we're going to go narrow passage, and you will put your elbow behind you. And the blind person will walk single file behind you. And then when you get where you're going, just go back to position. So let's do that. Watch that again. So, Ibrahim, narrow passage. We're going to get through this. What? Okay, we're going through a door. So those are the basic. Now, the last little section is you don't want to leave a visually impaired or blind person just standing in open space. I would tell everybody, stand up and close your eyes for a second. Just everybody, stand up and close your eyes. Stand away from your chair. Nothing to reference. Now just go back and let the backs of your knees touch your chair. Don't you feel better? Don't you feel better? So, sit down. So, Ibrahim, just a sec. I'll be there in 10 minutes, all right? So, don't do it. Don't leave them just standing there. I was a mobility teacher, but I wasn't his mobility teacher. Seating them, okay? So you want to bring the visually impaired person to the front of the chair. Say your chair's in front of you. I'm going to put my hand on the seat, and they're going to find the seat, and you say, it has arms. Okay, arms or no arms. Let them know, because you don't like sitting on the arm of the chair. So I'm going to let you sit. If you want. The other thing is, that was so great. When you're leaving, that was wonderful. Say goodbye, or he's going to continue speaking to me and not know that I left. All right? Thank you. The end. This is really the end. So, questions on that? Because it's really very, very simple, but you just want to get used to it, be a little comfortable with it. I think the rule, this is what I love about my job, is that you actually have to be polite and a little slower, gentlemanly, if you will, and aware. And it's just a nice place to be in when you're living. So think of it that way.
Copyright Art Beyond Sight, 2014.